How to travel the Maldives on a budget? It's possible. It can be done cheaply. The Maldives were always my dream honeymoon destination for a couple of reasons. The first, it looked like it had the best beaches in the world. And the second, the resorts were very expensive. I assume that the Maldives were once in a lifetime destination that I visit only for a special occasion. Finding cheap accommodation. The first thing to note is that there aren't any super cheap options for accommodation. You won't find dorm rooms in the Maldives or a crappy $5 a night bungalow on the beach like you in Southeast Asia. You will, however, find several couch surfing hosts. Couch surfing is my jam, but if you opt for spending nothing on accommodation, check that out first. Aside from couch surfing, though, there are still plenty of budget guest houses, and they are surprisingly good value. For from $30 to $60 a night, you'll receive a clean, modern, spacious room with air conditioner, a hot shower, free breakfast, snorkeling gear, a bottle of water each day, twice daily room cleaning, and fast Wi-Fi. The rooms are seriously nice, much higher quality than the rooms I stay in Eastern Europe, for example, at that price. The easiest way to find cheap accommodation in the Maldives is through Hotel Combined. Simply search for hotels in Maldives along with your travel days. Sort the prices from the lowest to highest, and then start researching. The great thing about Hotel Combined is that it compares room rates for the guest houses on Agoda, Booking, Last Minute, and more. So it's perfect for finding absolute cheapest price for all of your accommodation. Alternatively, with our aim to offer just as many accommodation options on the local island, there are over 300 guest houses under $100 a night and 120 under $50 a night. A quick reminder that if you never used Airbnb before, you can get $20 off your first stay through never-ending footsteps. Finding cheap transport. Transport is also cheap. Local ferries run on a somewhat infrequent schedule, but shouldn't cost more than from $2 to $4 for a 3-hour journey. We paid $0.6 for the ferry from Mel Airport to Mel, $3 for the ferry from Mel to Marfa, $4 for the ferry from Marfa to Fulihu, and $2 for the ferry from Marfa to Geographic. If you want to visit a resort, you have to pay for a speedboat, as the local ferries don't stop at the resort islands. The speedboats are very expensive. We were quoted $280 per person return trip for a 45 minutes journey, or $200 per person return for a 10 minutes journey. One possibility could be to turn up at the nearest local island and ask around to see if a local fisherman will take you across on his boat. We managed to arrange the transfer from Guahu to Uhu Valley, which, by the way, was incredible, and I highly recommend if you are looking for a resort stay for $40 per person return trip. But given that the resort was only 6 kilometers away, this is still pretty pricey. Avoid the seaplane if you are traveling on budget. They will usually cost around $500 return for a 20 minutes journey. Finding cheap food. We sent you becquerel from $5 to $10 per meal, but with most guest houses offering an enormous free breakfast. Dave and I found ourselves skipping lunch and only paying for dinner. You can complain about spending $5 a day on food. In general, the smaller the island, the less food options there are, and you'll likely be eating at your guest house for most meals. On Fuliho, the smallest island we visited, we were charged $10 per dinner, whether they order chicken fried rice, curry and rice, or a gigantic fish barbecue. There were only 3 restaurants on the island, and they all charge the same price for the tourists at least. For a busy island, such as Marfa, there were plenty of food options. There are maybe a dozen restaurants on the island, all offering reasonably priced dinners. We pay around from $5 to $10 a meal for fish curry and rice, fish and chips, tuna fried rice, lot of fish-based meals. Finding cheap excursion. The cheapest way to go on an excursion is to book it through your guest house. Don't be afraid to shop around for prices, though. Wander into 4 or 5 guest houses and ask for their prices before you make a decision. Also check to see what included in the price. Some guest houses will include lunch, water, and a soft drink. Some won't include any extras. I'm not a diver, but many of you expressed interest in knowing how you can dive in the Maldives on a budget. If you decide to dive through your guest house or arrange it through a dive shop on a local island, you'll be looking at paying around $100 for 2 dives. The cheapest option for diving in the Maldives, however, is doing a live aboard trip. Other options for excursions include lots of snorkeling trips. If you are looking to be visiting during manta ray or whale shark season, you'll be able to arrange a trip to see them. We tried to do this in Gurahu, but sadly didn't get to see any manta rays. We paid $50 per person for a half-day snorkeling trip. It was pretty pricey, but it was also the best snorkeling of my life. Amazing visibility, thousands of tropical fishes, and even adorable sea turtles swimming alongside us. Most guest houses will also arrange fishing trips, about $50 per person, or day trips to the resorts, about $50 per person plus a $30 per person entry fee. You can also take trip to sandbanks, about $25 per person, and go island hopping around the total $50 per person. There are beaches especially for tourists. On some of the local islands, there will be one designated beach for the tourists, typically called Bikini Beach. A barrier will be erected between the beach and the trees of the island, and once you pass the barrier, you'll be able to take off the clothes. Well, some of them topless. Sunbathing for ladies is illegal in the Maldives and could land you in jail. Some of the guest houses have a small garden area where they allow you to sunbathe in bikinis if there's a bikini beach. It'll say in the listing if this is the case, so be sure to check in advance if sunbathing is important to you. There was a beach for tourists on both Marfa and Fuliho. Low season is the time to go. High season starts in October, and the prices of guest houses increase dramatically. Our $60 a night guest house in Marfa almost doubles its prices to $100 and now fully booked from October until the end of the year. While we were there, At the start of September, we were the only people in the guest house for our 4-day stay. The other islands have also been pretty quiet in August and September. On Fulihu Island, it was so quiet that we were the only tourists. On Marfa, the island with the largest amount of guest houses, there were usually only around 10 people on Bikini Beach at any one time, so it didn't feel busy there either. Though during this time of year, we experienced one full day of rain over 3 weeks and 2 rainy afternoons. The weather has been great, the prices are half, and the islands are quiet.